Last spring brought particularly high water levels to western waters affected by mountain snowmelt. This was true on Montana's Fort Peck Reservoir, where the water was also cold and dirty when our intrepid anglers headed afield in search of walleye gold.
And folks, we're on Fort Peck, Montana. I'm with Jim Muzynoski, who lives in Bozeman, Montana. And if there is an expert for fishing this lake, I guess you're it, so that's why we came to you. And we've got tough conditions basically here. It's springtime, 53-degree water. Fort Peck is coming up big time. We've had a lot of rain, a lot of runoff, and of course the floods down south, they're holding water. So this, the reservoir itself is actually coming up almost 6 inches to a foot a day.
And that's a lot of water when you're talking 130-mile reservoir, so it's unbelievable, and tough conditions is right.
So we're going to show you what Jim does on a reservoir like this, and there's dozens and dozens of reservoirs like Fort Peck, same water color, same conditions, springtime to catch walleyes. And I'll show you the lure that I caught that one on right there. Beautiful fish. Let her go. Right here. Let's see. Down we go. You know, as you said, that was actually a male, that fish, 25-inch, probably about 5.5, 6 pound male.
That's right. That's a pretty large male, and we caught one last weekend over 5 pounds like that too, which shows a pretty healthy fish population, all the different sizes. So I mean, while you have a lot of water pouring in here, you also have great conditions for spawning for all the species, and especially the bait fish. So they're really getting fat here.
And what we're doing is basically what walleye fishermen do across the country in difficult conditions. It's just, you know, vertical jigging basically. We'll be doing a little bit of pitching maybe on different spots, but this is just a 3/8 ounce jig. It's got a little spinner on it. I've got a 4-inch Berkeley Power Minnow on here and fused lines so we can feel what we're doing and fishing about, well, what's happened, of course, with the reservoir coming up, you've got a lot of brush in a lot of areas, and we're fishing outside that brush in many instances.
Right, we're trying to find main lake points or main bay points where it's, you know, tapering off anywhere 5 to 15 feet probably is where the fish are holding right now, and as you come up the bank, we're getting hits.
There you go.
Anyway, crazy for a minute.
That's a nice one.
2-pounder.
There you go. I think we've worked out a pretty good plan here. You're vertical jigging while I'm pitching up to the shoreline, basically, and that, you know.
And that's worked really good today. You know, just keeping the boat in the mid-depth, 14 to 16 feet, and then catching those fish on the edge of this point coming around here. And Doug's been pitching into the shallower.
Yeah, I've been
the,
pitching with the swim bait, and you've been vertical jigging, and
I might get 1 or 2, and then you'll get 2 or 3.
Yep.
And between the 2 of us, I think we're picking up the active fish.
perfect for tough conditions. There we go, Jim. Good fish, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
There you go.
Yeah. This is your first time with maybe with the swim baits. You see how that he ate it? So a lot of people, that's my first one on the swim bait here, and that's a smaller swim bait than I normally fish, but it's still a swim bait. And basically what I was doing, and this is another male, so we're catching, you know, post-spawn males, and he was up on top of that little hump, and I've been pitching while you've been fishing vertical. I've been pitching up there. So back we go, beautiful fish again. All right. Yeah, down we go. So that's a little smaller swim bait than I normally throw. I usually fish the 5-inch bait, but this is a 4-inch bait with a 1/2 ounce head, and a great pitching bait. And as you saw, fish love to eat those swim baits. There we go. Jim, get the net. Get the net. Oh, nice fish. Nice fish.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. That is a day.
Woo! In on the swim bait again. Look at there. Way down in there again. I'm gonna actually probably need a pliers. There we go. So dirty water conditions, high water conditions, cold water conditions at the same time. You know, a really workable system. You know, he's been vertical jigging, catching some fish doing that. And at the same time, I've been pitching that swim bait up a little bit shallower and working it back to the boat. It's a dynamite system for difficult times.
It works